Good afternoon, hello and welcome. You're tuned into Times Now. This is Live Wire and I'm Poonam Burde. And the fight for the Gyanvapi truth is intensifying with the district court hearing the maintainability of a plea that was filed by 5 Hindu women seeking permission for daily worship of the Shringar Gauri Shrine in the Gyanvapi complex. And the Muslim side is putting forth its argument. They say that this plea is not even tenable because the Places of Worship Act of 1991 prohibits the conversion of any place of worship. The Muslim side is asserting that the act mandates the maintenance of the religious character of any place of worship as it existed on 15th of August 1947. Now, the district court will also pass an order regarding whether or not the video proof of the survey that was conducted by the advocate commissioners, will that be made public or will it only be given to the petitioners as the Muslim side wants? Amir and Harish, my colleagues, now join us from Varanasi, from on ground there. That hearing is still on and we're getting news that is trickling in from inside. Harish, what's the latest that you can tell us about what's happening in court? It's been about an hour and a half since it began.
Yes, that's right, Poonam. Now half an hour, I think in just a half an hour session remains today because normally the court rises around 4 o'clock. so now the argument on the maintainability is still continuing. The latest update is that Muslim side is opposing paragraph from the Hindu law suit which states that property was not a work property. Paragraph 22 of the Hindu law suit is being opposed by Muslim side right now. In fact, this paragraph very significantly refers to the Uttar Pradesh Kashi Vishwanath Temple Act 1983, which the Hindu side says recognizes the right of Hindus to worship the Jyotirlinga, including all subordinate temples, shrines, sub-shrines and the asthan of all other images and deities, mandaps, wells, tanks, etc. So the very important argument being made here by the Muslim side, they are opposing the is being opposed. The para refers to UP Kashi Vishwanath Temple Act. So the arguments are continuing, but half an hour remains for today's hearing to end. So we'll have to wait for two very important orders. We'll have to watch out whether today the district judge is taking decision regarding handing over of the CDs or pen drives which carry 1,500 photos and the around 17 videos of 10-hour duration to the parties. Remember, but there was stiff opposition from one of the Hindu side and also
Thursday is when the Muslim side had filed this petition in court where they said, Amir, that the access should be restricted, that only the petitioners, only the stakeholders in this case be handed over that proof of the survey, so to say, and not be made public and given it to the media. We still are yet to hear as far as any development on that front is concerned, because in the last 1.5 hours, Amir, the only discussion that has happened in court is about the maintainability of the plea.
Well, yes, that's right, Poonam. Most of the discussion that we've heard from inside the courtroom pertains only to the Muslim side arguments as far as the maintainability of the petition under, as seen with the 1991 Places of Worship Act is concerned. And therefore, there has been no time when this issue of the records, the videographic and photographic records being handed over to both sides is concerned. So there's been no discussion on that front as of now, but we do believe that when the court rises, when it calls it a day today, sometime around 4 p.m., perhaps this issue will be raised by both the sides, because remember, while the Hindu side is Hindu side actually wants the court to hand over all such photographic and videographic evidences, the Muslim side is dead against it, and therefore, when the Hindu side raises this question before end of day, the Muslim side is bound to, oppose it, and therefore the court will finally have to take a stand on where, what it sees as regards this issue is concerned.
Right.
Within half an hour from now, we'll get to know what exactly the court decides on that front. As far as the arguments from the Muslim side is concerned, paragraph number 22 or 23 is being argued upon right now. There are 56 such points, 56 such paragraphs, and and therefore the Muslim side arguments are bound to not conclude today. This will continue for at least 2 to 3 more sittings that will be granted by the court ahead. And therefore, most important aspect will be whether the videographic and photographic evidences are being handed over to the concerned petitioners, and also
that
whether
perhaps
they actually
will be the last order of business the court takes up today before they rise for the day. Whether or not that happens, you of course will be keeping an eye out. Do stay on with me, Harish and Amir, because Namit Saxena, advocate on record of the Supreme Court, now joins us on this broadcast. Author Anurag Naidu is also with us. Advocate Esham Hashmi, a political analyst and a lawyer as well, joins us, and so does Sajid Rashidi, who is the president of the All India Imam Association. And Sajid Rashidi, I want to ask you first. Why restrict access? The survey is done. What was seen was seen. The Muslim side has been claiming that whatever was seen has nothing to do with any sort of shivling. It is just a fountain. The fact that there might have been motives that was seen is nothing new. You'd find such in several other mosques across the country as well. Then why this plea to restrict the access? Why not make it public?
एक चीज़ आप समझिए कि सेशन कोर्ट ने सर्वे कराना कोई बुरी बात नहीं है, लेकिन सेशन कोर्ट ने जिस तरह से सर्वे के ऊपर विदाउट सबमिट रिपोर्ट के जिस तरह से एक्शन लिया है और वजू खाने को बंद करने का काम किया है, ये इनलीगल है। ये कहीं ना कहीं 1991 प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट का खुला उल्लंघन है। आप ये देखिए, दीन मोहम्मद के केस में जो 1937 में आया था, उसमें साफ लिखा है जजमेंट में कि ये प्रॉपर्टी वक्फ हनफी की है, वक्फ हनफी की प्रॉपर्टी है। और कोर्ट ने लिखा है कि सालों साल से यहाँ नमाज होती आई है, और कोर्ट ने ये भी लिखा है कि साल में एक बार यहाँ उर्स भी होता है। तो ये वक्फ प्रॉपर्टी है, इसको डिनाई नहीं किया जा सकता। दूसरे ये कि महंत राजेंद्र त्यागी जो हैं, जो पूर्व महंत थे वहाँ के, उनका साफ कहना है कि ये वजू खाना हम बहुत पहले से देखते आए हैं और नंदी की स्थापना उसके बाद में हुई है। तो नंदी की स्थापना जब बाद में हुई है तो फिर शिवलिंग कैसे हो गया वहां पर? भूषण पांडे एक महंत हैं, वो भी कहते हैं कि हमें बचपन देखा है इस मस्जिद के अंदर, बचपन में हम खेले कूदे हैं, हमें तो कभी कोई शिवलिंग नजर नहीं आया। दूसरे ये है, आप ये बताइए, रिपोर्ट सबमिट होने से पहले ये कैसे प्रूफ हो गया कि ये शिवलिंग है? जब तक का जजमेंट नहीं आया, जब तक सर्वे रिपोर्ट सबमिट नहीं हुई, जब तक इस पर कोई आर्गुमेंट नहीं हुआ, तो ये कैसे कह दिया गया कि बाबा मिल गए? उसके बाद देखिए कि जब कॉरिडोर निकला है बनारस से, 286 मंदिरों को तोड़ा गया, 286 शिवलिंग जो है उनका अपमान किया गया, उनको खंडित किया गया। उस पर कोई महंत बात नहीं करता, उस पर कोई हिंदू तंजीम बात नहीं करती, उस पर कोई हिंदू वकील बात नहीं करता। क्यों नहीं करता भाई? अगर सरकार खंडित कर रही है शिवलिंगों को, तो उस पर तो आप बात नहीं करेंगे, चूंकि नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार है। और आप बार बार ये इल्जाम लगाते हैं कि मुगलों ने मंदिरों को तोड़ा है। अरे भाई, नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने 286 मंदिर तोड़े हैं। अगर मुगल आक्रांता है तो नरेंद्र मोदी जी भी तो आक्रांता हो गए ना।
Selective is what the allegation is. Anurag Naidu, before I come to you and let you interject or respond to what Sajid Rashidi was saying, I just want to get a quick update that's coming from the court for our viewers. The latest is that the Muslim side is now contesting the claim by the Hindu side that the worshippers have the right to perform puja at the Shringar Gauri Shrine or even darshan there. The fact that they should not be allowed access to this particular shrine is something that the Muslim side has been contesting on. And Anurag Naidu, even as the hearing is on, even as the judiciary is doing its job, all of this is just selective. You're just trying to open a Pandora's box and try to create an issue where there is none, is what the allegation is.
Was no issue. Why would the courts, including the Supreme Court, waste their valuable time in arguing and hearing the matters? The matter doesn't stop here. There's more than what meets the eye. That's what I'm telling. The gentleman who just spoke before me is again trying to intimidate by saying what? Prime Minister Narendra Modi broke the temples. Do you have any evidence on what basis, whether it was really broken or it was restructured or it was, it is not like India has the largest number of temples world. But the point here is certain temples are of extremely high religious importance. Ayodhya, Mathura, Kashi, you cannot, there is no parallel to these temples. And this was also said by a lot of leaders. Uma Bharti ji said a couple of days back, why we are fighting so fiercely for these temples is this holds a very different level of religious importance in our culture. Now what they're trying to do, they're again trying to point at 1991 Worship Act. What happened very beautifully is it's a lesson to all the, the other side who are competing. Devkinandan Thakurji went to the court challenging section 2, 3 and 4 of the 1991 Act. So in and all, when you actually go to 1991 Act, you are going to actually challenge the constitutional validity of the 1991 Act. And God forbid, I'm telling you, this is not going to lead you anywhere. What is going to lead you somewhere is to have a peaceful agreement. And again, please don't refer to a real estate again and again. It is not a matter of real estate. It is not a matter of encroachment. It is a matter of
faith for a lot of Hindus, specifically this particular site. It's sacred to the Hindu religion is what the faithfuls believe, and that is why they are staking claim to that, and not just because it's any temple that they would like to stake claim to. Before I get in my other guests, I just want to get in a quick word from Harish, who's reporting from outside the court. What's the latest you've gathered, Harish?
Yes, Poonam, the latest is that Muslim side is now, in fact, contesting the claim by the Hindu side that the worshippers of Lord Shiva have right to perform puja and darshan of the shrines, sub-shrines, asthan and images of deities and mandaps, including the shrines of goddess Shringar Gauri. So, in fact, the Madhu side is challenging the validity of the Kashi Vishwanath Act 1983 passed by the government in 1983 by the UP government. So arguments are still on, but now since Poonam, just 15 minutes remain for today's proceedings, so all eyes will be on the court because the court will rule on whether
what comes out of court. We will of course be coming back to you and Amir for the very latest. I request Namit Saxena and Ehtisham Hashmi also who've been patiently waiting to stay on with us for just a bit. We're slipping into a quick break, but we'll be back in just 2 minutes. Gentlemen, don't go anywhere.